Bonjour, y'all. Just taking on a little trip with me when I'm walking over toward the Intermarché here. But I just wanted to show you the Parc Sant Vincens here in Perpignan. But right now, just showcasing you kind of the view when you're walking into it. It's on a kind of a busy corner for traffic, but it's really it's a beautiful little park. It's the largest green space in Perpignan. And they have a large lake, which I'll show you in there. A lake, I should say. And so here's kind of the nearby intersection. And then there's a little cafe up front, La Guardia, that serves like Catalan tapas, some crepes. I think they have ice cream, and then they have like sodas and waters and beers and wine. But it's a nice setup that they have. So here's the main entrance into the park. And let's see here. And they've also got a bunch of little like bird imprints and that. This is a little plaza out in front of the park entrance. There's LaGuardia again. It's really a pretty setting to sit there and just have something to eat, something to drink on a beautiful day like the day it is that I captured this. So, but in any case, coming in. What you'll come into here, again, this is the largest green space in Perpignan. So they have a couple of festivals here. Let's see, want to say, so this is just going to be kind of the map. There's essentially a walking trail around it, and then you can see the lake in the center, and then the various things that they have here. So we get past the schematic, start walking through. So there are two major events that they hold here during the year in Perpignan: the Fête de la Nature and Fête Catalan. The Fête de la Nature is held in May, and they'll have vendors along the sides. It's a free entry day dedicated to nature and biodiversity. So I went to this year. So what it does is it typically features like markets with organic producers, various workshops. So they'll show people how you can use locally grown vegetation, things of that sort for whatever kind of ails you. They've got various workshops and activities for all ages. They do some guided tours, things like that, some games and whatnot. But it attracts about 4,000 people typically in here. So kind of one of the busiest times for the park. This is just kind of the little trail getting into the one view of the lake. So they've got this kind of dock platform. Well, not really a dock. There's no boats that go up to it, but I guess maybe just kind of a viewing platform of the lake. And you see there, they keep it aerated, obviously, to kind of help keep the algae and all that down. But I'm assuming there's fish in here too, but I've never seen anybody actually fishing. But I'm assuming there's some other wildlife that's in here other than just ducks and whatnot that are floating along the top. But over there is kind of another plaza area that's shaded, and I'm going to be walking over there now. This is another kind of path going down towards that other shaded plaza area. And they'll have markets here, so like some of the outdoor markets for fruits and vegetables, and local farmers popping in here to kind of sell their stuff. And obviously, right now, it's very quiet right now. I did this in the morning when I was walking up to the Intermarché, and I'll be taking on the rest of that trip once we walk through the park here. But in any case, so you can see here, it's nicely shaded. So when they have the vendors here, it's even in the summertime, it's reasonable to be standing around in there just doing your local shopping. So I wanted to capture. There's a bunch of ducks floating along here. But that kind of gives the perspective of what the lake looks like. And of course, the walking trails go all the way around it. Now I'm going to be heading back out toward where I just came in. And we'll just kind of keep walking through. The Fête Catalan is a cultural event, obviously supporting the Catalan traditions and identity. That runs on a Sunday. I think it's just a one-day event they have in September, typically. So, but those are the two major events that they hold here. They'll have other kind of minor events throughout the year. and sometimes I'll have people set up. I think this is part of the biodiversity. I've never seen anything set up inside that field that we're looking at there. So I don't know that that's ever actually used other than just for flowering and, pollinators to be able to kind of track their way through around. But this area here that I'm going to be panning over to, they'll usually have set up for, and that's the main entrance again coming into it. But that plaza area, they'll typically have some other food vendors and drink vendors set up there when they've got the larger events. And then this is part of the actual paved part of the trail going around that I'm walking on right now. And then you'll see that we'll kind of, what I'm pointing at is or pointing towards, is obviously just a trail, but it's not paved, but kind of another section to walk through here of the park. And I had to put the camera down because a little child decided to ride their bike along there. So, but that's where I'm coming from, and I'm going to pan around to show you where I'm going to. And what this does is it essentially walks you to the other side of the park entrance. So we'll just follow along this blue path here. And now I'm over kind of toward the other side. This is where they'll have usually some of the concert venues set up, more vendors sitting out there when they're doing the larger events. And then as we kind of pan around here, this decking area will typically have some food vendors on it and that. But again, it's really a nice quiet space to just kind of walk around. Plenty of places to sit down and then enjoy the view and enjoy the day. But coming out here now, this is where you can come over here and park like that. What you're seeing now as we're walking up. I wish I'd point up a little bit higher on these. But where you can obviously, tie up your bike or a moped out there. And we'll just keep a-walking. And then the area that we're looking at right now, there is a dog park. So, if you bring your dogs with you, that's where you can let them do their thing. This is a little section here that they've got for composting, which I thought was interesting. I didn't lift any of them up to see if anybody's actually using them, but just kind of assuming they are. But interesting little environmental experiment there. And then we'll just kind of walk along the trail, heading back out toward the street. And eventually I'll be popping this up a little bit so you can see a little bit more of what the neighborhood looks like around here. It's pretty much all just residential on the, across the street there. Oh, there we go. And then this is the parking, obviously, for the park area. So there's not a great deal of parking, but as I'm walking up, you'll see where a number of the people will typically park is up at the Intermarché parking lot up here, which is not that far of a walk. There's only probably 20 spots there along the side of the park area. And I'll put the camera down when I see people kind of walking toward me. I don't want them to kind of get annoyed that I'm trying to film anybody. But this is a little strip area here, like a Renault, I think it's maybe some sort of an auto workshop that people go to. And the green awning there is a brand new, they had a car wash there before when I first moved here, and they tore that out and put in the new car wash. So that's what that is, and you'll see the building with Le Drive up on the right-hand side. And that is the complex where the Intermarché is located. So just kind of walk along here. Where that young woman's walking across the street is where a bus stop is. This is obviously it's a two-way street here, and so what I'm looking at now is you're kind of walking along that blacktop path in front of us. That's another bus stop, a Let's Go bus stop, and so that's where you can stop, obviously, to get off to get up to Intermarché here. So. Just take the steps. I know this is really riveting going through this, but I do want to just show people what it's like that, without a car, this is what we do to get over to the grocery store, and at least the close by larger grocery store. There's several other options by bus, but if I just want to take a walk, this is probably about 10-minute walk-ish, something like that, to get over here. And of course, on a day like this, it's just a beautiful day out, so easy walk. We'll just kind of plod along here, the side of the building. What you see on the right-hand side there is a little restaurant they've got set up there at the Intermarché. It's open every day, I believe, at least for, I think it's mostly lunch. And it gets busy, but definitely a couple of times I've been there, it's always been busy with folks. And straight ahead, you see that's the side of the Aldi. It's in the same parking lot. And I'll be doing a separate video of that Aldi here soon. We'll kind of just wander around over here to the side, get over to get me a cart, take in with me. And of course, it's typical in Europe. It's one where you put a coin in, and I showed this before on the video of the Intermarché, but you put the coin in to release the chain. And then when I turn around, you see, voila, the Intermarché. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much.